August 1st. Meeting of the Casa Grande Planning and Zoning Commission to order. Please rise and join me for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, I'm understanding that Mr. Vanderheiden is on his way. Would you record all present but him at this point? When he gets then we'll go from there. Any changes to the agenda?
No changes.
No changes, Mr. Chair.
The voice
Sorry,
from
Paul, I didn't know if you were going to take that or not.
the voice from above. Okay. All right. Commissioners, we have minutes from July meeting, July 11th.
I'd like to make a motion, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you.
Make a motion that we approve the minutes of the meeting of July 11th, 2024.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, minutes are approved. Next is our consent agenda. All items listed with an asterisk, all of the ones with E, 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3, yeah. Will be enacted by one motion and one roll call vote for the commission. There'll be no separate discussion for these items unless a commissioner or somebody from the public would like to hear that particular item, and we'll pull it and then hear it in its normal order, in normal sequence. So, you all right? Okay, so items 1, 2, and 3, anybody from the public like to hear a presentation on those? Okay, commissioners?
Sure,
None? Commissioners? Yep. Talk to
Sure.
you.
I'd like to make a motion to approve the consent agenda items.
Very good. I have a
Second.
motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, please call the roll.
Member Aldred,
Aye.
Member Hubbard,
Yes.
Member Peters,
Aye.
Member Estrada,
Yes.
Vice Chair Garza,
Aye.
Chairman Benedict.
Yes. Okay, next. Next, we'll open the floor for public comments. These are for comments that you'd like the commission to hear regarding matters that are not on the agenda. There's one left, but if it's not that item and you'd like to speak to the commission can't respond to those comments, but we can direct staff to follow up as appropriate. Anyone from the public like to address the commission on general comments? Okay, seeing none, I'll close the public portion of the meeting and get down to new business. We will consider a request for land located, Pier and O'Neill within the G Diamond Ranch PAD, zoned for multifamily, DSA 240096, 00273, actually that's DSA 23-00275 and DSA 23-00274. Jacqueline, talk to us.
Hi, good evening, Planning and Zoning Commission. Before I get into each of the individual cases, I'm going to do a little zoning overview on the project. So the PAD amendment for this area was approved in 2022, and it changed the single-family residential area to multifamily up to 25 dwelling units per acre. It came to Planning Commission in September of 2022 and was approved at the November 7th City Council meeting. And here to the right shows all the areas. So the first request is for a major site plan near the northwest corner of Peart and Cottonwood. It's for a 216-unit multifamily project and contains 9 three-story residential buildings with a maximum height of 34 feet. And per the PAD, it allows up to 35 feet. It will also have a 1-story community complex and will contain a mix of 2, 3, and 4-bedroom units with community amenities. The density of this particular project is at 14.3 dwelling units per acre, and will also be utilizing the low-income housing tax credits, which would have rent being restricted up to 60% of the average median income for Pinal County. Second request is for a major site plan at the southwest corner of O'Neill and Peart. And this is for 191 units for 55-plus apartments. This will contain 1 3-story building, again with a maximum height of 34 feet, and will contain a mix of 1 and 2-bedroom units with community amenities. This density is at 23.1 dwelling units per acre, and will also be utilizing a LISEC program with rent being restricted to 60% of the AMI for Pinal County. And the third request is to create a pre-plat for 2 lots. So this area located between Colorado and Peart was recently split into 3 parcels, as you can see on the map. And the applicant wishes to split the middle one into 2, creating a total of 4 lots. And per our subdivision regulations, this triggers a need to plat anything over 3 or 4 or more lots, triggers a plat requirement. And then once the other 2 sites come in for development, they will also be platting and doing a final plat at that time as well. Looking at the major site plan review criteria, here are the criteria that's covered in the staff report. I'll be covering the 2 highlighted items regarding the general plan and traffic. So again, looking at the community corridor land use category, this allows up to density to 25 dwelling units per acre. And again, the 55-plus major site plan is at 23.1 dwelling units per acre, and the multifamily is at 14.3, meeting this requirement. One of the goals of the community corridor land use is to promote higher density residential uses along urban corridors and near major commercial centers, and to encourage higher density residential development on infill lot and along key corridors, which this site is. I also wanted to touch base a little bit on some of the design standards that are both in the general plan community corridor design standards as well as our PED residential design standards. And that is to include elevations adjacent to streets that provide windows and balconies and provide that facade adjacent to the streetscape. In the current elevations, they're only showing balconies on the corners of the projects. So we do have a technical correction to revise these elevations to incorporate additional balconies to these buildings. Here are some examples of projects that were recently approved and under construction currently with additional balconies. And the applicant is okay with this technical correction as well. I also did want to look at our housing analysis that we did in last fall, as well as did additional analysis this spring. These particular units were part of that analysis under the zoned and major site plan review. So if these 2 major site plans are approved tonight, this will shift over to the approved major site plan category. So I just want to point out that these were already in our analysis, and it's just kind of moving columns, if you would. And then again, looking at our housing supply and need that we did back in the fall, we do need additional multifamily to meet our housing demand up to 2030 and further on. And also as part of that study, it was identified that senior housing as well as the low-income housing tax credit products and projects is what the city is lacking, and both Planning Commission and City Council were supportable of supporting these type of projects. Looking at moving gears towards traffic, TIA was completed for this project. That included, the analysis included level of service for both the existing conditions, weekday, AM and PM hours, trip generation, level of service for the project opening day and then opening year, AM and PM peak hours, a turn lane analysis, as well as a queuing analysis and traffic signal warrant analysis. Here are the intersections that were part of the study that were analyzed. And both with the capacity analysis warranted, looked at all of the intersections, both in the unmitigated or non-build and not mitigated, showed that the Pert and O'Neill westbound and eastbound operated under a level of service D. However, per the traffic recommendations, they are above an acceptable level. So per the TIA recommendations, O'Neill Drive will be built out from the driveway A here on the map to Peart Road. It'll have interim one lane in each direction. They'll have full access at O'Neill and Drive A, shown on one on the map. And at Peart and O'Neill, there will be a traffic signal installed at this intersection. Peart and driveway B, shown on number 3, will have a right turn lane and have a dedicated right in, right out only. And then also part of the TIA recommendations was to, as ongoing traffic kind of during the public improvement process, look at the Contwood and Peart intersection to see if signal lighting should be tweaked during that review. At the switching gears to the preliminary plat, here's the review criteria outlined in the staff report, and staff finds that all review criteria for the preliminary plat has been met. Looking at notification efforts, both applicant and staff met all the requirements. Notices were sent out to property owners within 500 feet of the project, and also HOAs for both G Diamond Ranch, the Preserve, and Highland Manor on the east side of Peart were also notified. And to date, I did not receive any inquiries or comments. So with that, staff recommends preliminary plat approval to create 2 lots with the following technical corrections. The multifamily site approved with technical corrections and conditions of approval regarding the TIA should be implemented. TIA recommendation should be implemented, including the construction of a traffic signal at Peart and O'Neill prior to the certificate of occupancies, and as well as the 55+ major site plan being approved with the technical corrections and conditions of approval. Happy to answer any questions the commission may have.
All righty, thank you. Commissioners, any questions for staff?
I have some
Yep,
questions.
please.
Thank you. Jacqueline, the right-of-way dedication for O'Neill up to this site, does it exist?
Yes, so they will be dedicating, so there is already right-of-way dedicated on the north side of O'Neill. So they will be dedicating, so they'll have full dedication for this project in this section.
In the blue section?
Yeah, in the blue section. So for the interim, though, the road will be diverted to the northern section of the current right-of-way.
Does that northern right-of-way dedication go all the way to Colorado Street?
It does. However, yes.
Their site plan improvements do not. I was
Yeah.
just asking the
Yes.
question. Okay.
Actually, do you know for sure? Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I see it parceled out, so I'm assuming it exists. What was my other questions?
I'm sorry you didn't hand me that list.
No, I didn't hand you the list. So I guess there's an opportunity here, right, for the city to improve O'Neill all the way to Colorado Street and kind of improve circulation in the area. So I just want to make that a comment. I'm not saying that this is a development requirement. I just think it's important for feedback for residents that are concerned about transportation and traffic to know that making that small connection to Colorado to provide an outlet for G Diamond and the Preserve and all that future multifamily to be able to make a safer left-hand turn, there's an opportunity there. So, other than that, the only other question I had was, do we oftentimes approve major site plans without knowing what street section that the developer's going to be building? Because I noticed that was one of the stipulations in the approval process here.
Yes, because that is part of the public improvement project. So typically, we do we know it'll fit in the right-of-way. A lot of times, we do like to see it with the major site plan, but we know it's part of the public improvement and site development requirements.
Okay. And then just my second question, is the TIA formally approved
Yes, it's approved with conditions that,
Okay, but-
yeah,
with those ones that were mentioned?
yes.
Okay. That's it.
Great question, thank you.
You got it.
Anything else? Okay, seeing none, would the applicant or their representative like to come forward and address the commission, please? Please give us your name and address for the record.
Sure. Nick Asta with Roars Companies. We're at 2 Carlson Parkway, Plymouth, Minnesota. I also have with me Shelley Sorensen. She is with Lokahi Traffic Consultants, and then Pete Schroeder with Roars is here as well. So yeah, I think you guys are relatively familiar with Roars Companies, but we are a vertically integrated development firm, construction firm, and property management firm. And this is our second and third project here in the city. Mesa Vista opening kind of later this fall was the first one and has gone very well. Just a few things that came up. The 55 plus building is actually 176 units, so slightly fewer units than was mentioned. Just want to make that clear. And then I just want to make it clear that Roars is committed to making all the technical corrections that were brought up tonight, so I don't see any issues at all with those. Same thing with the TIA. We very much understand the importance of O'Neill Drive, the light that'll have to be put in there, that sort of thing, and so definitely a part of our plans at this point. So yeah, I guess with that, happy to answer any questions about maybe more about the project specifically. I know Jacqueline did a great job of covering a lot of it. So.
Okay, commissioners, any questions?
Just to clarify,
Yes, go.
just to clarify that you did say you're design, build, and manage, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, and so we do this, going through the LIHTC program, this project will have a land use restriction of 15 years. And so we will own and manage this project for the long run.
Okay, good. That's good. Well, we've had a lot of complaints about somebody coming in from out of state and then building and taking off.
Sure, yeah. No. We also have recently established an office here in Arizona, and so we're definitely here for the long haul.
Great, thank you.
Okay, anything else for? All right, very good. The rest of this group, would you like to address as the representatives? Okay, thank you. Appreciate that. Okay, now I'll open the public portion of the meeting. If you'd like to address this, please come forward. Give us your name and address for the record. And please keep your comments to 3 minutes. And try not to repeat if someone else has already spoken about that issue. Let's try not to repeat that if that's possible. Anyone from the public like to address this issue, please come forward.
My name is Mike Seacatz. I live at 1201 East Davila Avenue, corner of Rodeo and Pueblo, I guess it is.
Okay.
And I'm just wondering where all the water is coming from for temporary type housing, which is what apartments are, right? Most homes, as I understand that, have to submit some kind of a 100-year plan for their water, but apartments don't have to. So I'm wondering whose water these apartments are going to be using. Is it going to be mine from my 100-year plan, or is it going to be yours, or what's going on there? I know you're not going to answer me, but maybe somebody, you could put me in touch with somebody so I could find out how that works.
Certainly. And I think in general, if there are questions that that are specific like that, the staff can answer most all of those questions. So if you could
Okay.
contact them, they'll have better and more complete answers than we can give you
Okay.
here in our meeting.
So, okay, then that's really all I can say, because you're not here to answer my questions. I just see a lot of development, but I don't understand where the water's coming from. I would be concerned. I'm sure you must be somewhat concerned. I'm third generation. My daughter lives here, fourth generation Arizonian. We're looking at moving because it doesn't look like a lot of this area is being handled properly. I think we're going to run out of water in about 25 years. Or it's going to cost 4 times as much. So that's what I'm concerned about.
Okay?
So should I contact somebody or?
That'd be
will-
great. Yeah, that'd be great. You can contact Jacqueline and
Okay,
at the city, and, yeah, that'd be great.
After public comments, though, I can kind of do a quick little analysis of the water, if you'd like.
can I just
We'll
leave you
be
my
asking that
card and
question.
number and you can contact me? Would that be okay
Yeah.
right now? And then I can get off the stand here?
And after public comments, I can kind of give you a quick overview too, for everybody.
Great. Thank you. Appreciate you coming. Anybody else like to address this issue?
Maria Johnson's story, and I'm at 1245 East Laurel Drive in Casa Grande, Arizona. And I don't know if maybe Jacqueline could explain, and pardon my density, but O'Neill Drive and Driveway A, what is Driveway A? Is that a temporary road where O'Neill would go to Peart? Since you can't go there, it's a dead end, and there's a huge school zone right there, too.
Is that your only question? Or I'll let you finish.
Okay. Yeah,
and I-
we'll-
That's kind of my question.
Okay, well, if that's all your comments, we'll address it after the public portion is closed.
Okay, because
all right.
driveway A and driveway B, to me, are not clear. And I didn't pull up all the meeting stuff tonight, so I don't know what driveway A and driveway B would be. I just know that there's no way to go from O'Neill Drive to Peart at this time. And it stops dead at Legacy School. And that's a huge school zone there. And I'm seeing O'Neill Drive and Driveway A are 2 different roads, but if that could be explained, I would appreciate it.
Yep, we'll ask that question for you.
Thank you.
Thank you, appreciate it. Appreciate your comments. Anyone else like to address this issue?
Good evening. Hi. Thank you. My name is Nancy Wood, and 513 Speckle Road, Casa Grande, Arizona. And I came up to speak because this is an area where we have a lot of burrowing owls, and I just want to make the developer aware of really, checking the survey as far as burrowing owls and wildlife for when they do their groundwork and such in this area. There are active burrows that are just south of their location, and so owls travel and go around within that whole area there. So it's one of the things that I hope they would check and things. Actually, if they could develop some habitat for them, that would be great, because then they could just stay. And everybody loves seeing them, and they really do a benefit because they're really good rodent control and bug control and things like that we don't even have to pay for. They take care of the things naturally and give us a lot of beauty in nature and such. I just hate to see they're losing their habitat and all that. I do want to say that Rose Law Group and the things that I've seen them do here in our community, I'm really happy with the investment that they've done and their commitment to doing good projects here in Casa Grande. And it's nothing about their group or anything. It's just that I want to protect the habitat and see if these developers can do as much as they can to preserve that and just make them aware of their location. So, thank you very much.
Great, thank you. Anyone else like to address this issue? Okay. Seeing none, I'll close the public portion of the meeting, bring it back to the commission. Okay, I'll ask it, would you start with driveway A and B?
Yes, so part of the project, Gloria, they'll be building a road from their project east to Peart on O'Neill. Legacy and where it dead ends is, you can't see it on the map, but it's more in Cottonwood Ranch, so it's more west. But you're connecting two roads? No, it'll just be a road from their existing site, or the proposed site, on O'Neill to Peart.
So in other words, from the dead end on O'Neill, that will stay a dead end, and then the road will be a dead end coming in from here.
To the site, yes.
It will be an official road.
Yes, it'll be, they'll be dedicating, so there's right away, as Celeste mentioned, there's already dedicated right away on the north side of O'Neill. And then, so they'll be doing the full dedication within their site here. And then the road will have an interim 2-lane road going from the east boundary of the site to Peart. And then once the rest of the site develops, the road will be built out more. But there will be two-way traffic.
Who's going to build O'Neill? Is going to be built from O'Neill to Peart, or here?
From the project to Peart, yes.
It will always stay a dead end at Legacy.
Until the east side or west side of G Diamond is completed.
And then it becomes a full-fledged, bona fide 2- or 4-lane road.
Yes, it'll be a collector road, so it would have a through lane in each direction and a center turn lane.
So O'Neill will be
A collector.
road and goes all the way through.
Like it currently is, yeah, but yeah, it'll eventually be built out all the way from Treckle to Peart.
Yeah. Well, it goes all the way, it goes past Treckle.
So it'll go from Peart to Treckle then?
Yes,
Yeah.
once it's built
Once
out.
Gotcha.
This other strip neighborhoods is, once
I
they
was just
start
trying to-
building this, then they've got to pay for it.
Gotcha.
So
didn't
city's
realize-
policy is for developers to build the roadways as they come in, so that's why.
In other words, once all their buildings are up, then they are responsible to make a through road all the way to Treckle.
Each development, well, that's why it's pieced together.
Okay.
And driveway B is,
The driveway along Peart right here.
so that would just be a small in,
Yeah, so that's just, so they'll do a turn lane and then it'll be right in, right out there.
and nothing will be built after that, it's just the driveway.
Correct, yeah, because the Peart's already built out in that section.
Okay. All right. Jacqueline, you have a short description of water law in Arizona.
Yes, so the short and sweet version of that is, so for subdivisions, which is 6 or more lots, they need a certificate of assured water that ADWR gives out, and they are no longer giving those out within the Pinal AMA area. However, think of it, so Arizona Water is a designated water provider, and they have their own allotment of water. So they can do development agreements for other projects that do not require cause. So basically, the water comes out kind of, if you want to say, a different pot of water.
Okay? Comes out, right, comes out
Yeah.
of the,
That makes sense.
right, comes out of the allotment that
Yeah,
Arizona
that-
Water has.
yes.
It doesn't come out of any allotments for the cause that other developments have that are already established.
Correct.
That's already established and set aside for those developments.
Yes.
And who regulates water supply is the Arizona Department of Water Resources.
Correct. Yes.
Okay. Commissioners, any other questions, any discussion? I think we're at Okay,
Chair, I'd like to make a motion.
that'd be great.
I'd like to make a motion to approve the preliminary plat for Roars G Diamond to create 2 lots, DSA 24-00096, with the following technical corrections as listed.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second for developing those, assigning those 2 lots. Any discussion, commissioners? Seeing none, please call the roll.
Member Aldret?
Aye.
Member Hubbard?
Yes.
Member Peters?
Aye.
Member Estrada?
Yes.
Vice Chair Garza?
Aye.
Chairman Benedict?
Yes. All right, we have 2 more issues here, commissioners.
Chair, I'd like to make a motion.
Thank you.
I'd like to make a motion to approve the major site plan request for multifamily development, DSA 23-00274, with the following technical corrections and condition of approval as listed.
Second.
You want to do 274? Is that what you want to do? Okay, great.
Second.
Okay, I got a motion and a second.
We'll get back to 275.
Yeah. It's just,
Just
which
read
order it
this.
is, that's all right, as long as we get them all covered. Okay, any discussion? I have a motion second. Any discussion? Seeing none, please call the roll.
Member Aldret?
Aye.
Member Hubbard?
Yes.
Member Peters?
Aye.
Member Estrada?
Yes.
Vice Chair Garza?
Aye.
Chairman Benedict?
Yes. We got one more.
Chair, I'd like to make a motion.
Thank you. Glad you.
I'd like to make a motion to approve the major site plan request for 55-plus multifamily development, DSA 23-00275, with the following conditions of approval and technical corrections as listed.
Second.
All right, I got a motion and a second. Commissioners, any discussion on the motion? Hearing none, please call the roll.
Member Aldret?
Aye.
Member Hubbard?
Yeah, yes.
Member Peters?
Aye.
Member Estrada?
Yes.
Vice Chair Garza?
Aye.
Chairman Benedict?
Yes. Okay, multiple motions pass. Thank you all, sure appreciate your input, and thank you. And we look forward to your project, another quality project from you all. Thank you. Next up, reports from the director. Wake up, Paul.
All right, Mr. Chair, we've provided you with the building permit and land use application report, showing you the applications and permits that we've taken in for the month of July as well as year-to-date. So we've provided you with that data. We did not have any administrative approvals over the last month, no Board of Adjustment decisions. City Council did approve dedication of a sewer easement, dedication of some right-of-way, and also the subdivision variance for Mountain View Estate subdivision that you recommended that relieve the developer of building a short section of sidewalk around half of a cul-de-sac. And that's it for monthly reports.
All right. Reports. Commissioners, fast. Yeah, don't ever expect this again.
Right.
But, nothing else for the good of the order?
Nothing to-
We stand adjourned.